want to share with you some tips that can help to make your side planking exercise more effective. So the first thing is you have to be able to do a modified side plank before you ever move on to a full plank. And part of the reason is if we're trying to move into full side planks before our body's really ready, then we're not feeling it in the right place. And we might be actually exacerbating back pain, knee pain, and neck pain, okay? So I'm gonna show you. So with a modified side plank, which again, don't think modifications are easier. Actually, they can be way more effective for your body. So you can do this two ways. I typically like to be on my forearm. You can do these all the way up, which can help the neck a little bit. So I'll show them both ways. Typically how I like to teach them is down, because you get this really amazing fascial line from the pinky. It goes from the pinky all the way to the back side of the arm, up around the shoulder blade and around the ribs. So you get this awesome opening across the shoulder, the front of the shoulder and the chest, and we want to feel nice length, we want to feel nice connection underneath here. So even if you just do a little like down and lift, we need to feel this connection first before we ever lift the hips off the ground. Okay, then modified, your knee can either be a little in front or preferably in line with your top leg. And then we want to activate that lower glute a little bit, actually both glutes, and then we're going to lift up, right? So even if this, just stabilizing, is really challenging, then we add a little lower and lift. Think about lifting from that glute, okay, that bottom hip. We want to feel this nice opposition wrapping around our ribs. We want to keep it out of our back. So we've got to feel that good zipping up from our pelvic floor, lower belly, okay, before we ever think about going all the way out. When we go out, we want to really connect and squeeze those legs together, and then watch that we're not too open here, because that's where you're going to feel it in your back. You want to lift, be right to the side, even slightly forward, as long as you can keep it out of your neck, lower and lift. So we want to feel the side, but we also want to really feel from the front and inside pelvic floor, lower belly to lift as we lower lift here, okay? So we sometimes, I'm gonna show you a little bit more here in a minute, but sometimes we get so focused on like the side that we're working, we forget and we disconnect from what's going on with our pelvic floor, lower belly through the center of our body. So I'm always teaching my clients, I want you to connect through the center first, then when we add the lateral work and the side work, it's so much more effective. And it's not just about crunching to the side, it's about lengthening and then being able to get a little bit of that lateral flexion. Because if we just crunch to the side, right, and again, we can do that sometimes, but if we do it without length, we're not making it as effective for our body. Okay, so I want to show you all with the arm up. So this may be better for some of you. Okay, so again, you want to really be able to stabilize and connect, and now you're going to push all the way through that palm, reach energy through those fingertips. In order to activate all the way through our fascial lines, you have to reach through your fingers and you have to reach through your toes when we're talking leg work and even the full lengthening on these, okay? So we want to be able to, again, even if you just do this, you want to be able to wrap and lengthen, be able to wrap. It's kind of a first step. Then activate that lower leg, and then you can come up to these, right? We can always add our arm as well, and lower and lift. So for some of you, you may think this is a better step for you to start with. Others of you may like it on the elbow, right? Our bodies are all different, right? So experiment, see what feels best for you. But I never recommend anyone just goes to a full right away. Like when we're here, this is a lot on our wrist and a shoulder. And so unless you can really stabilize through your shoulder and your mid-back and your ribs and through your pelvis, this is most likely not going to get executed correctly, okay? So then let's do a couple. Now I feel very unbalanced. So let's do a couple on the other side. So try it again. And the really fun thing to do experimenting with these on the opposite side is it might feel very different for you on this side. So let's start with that elbow down. We'll go through it. Then again, just do a little like wrap and lift, reaching through that pinky, feel that wrap, and then activate that glute, lift. Again, you can take the arm here and do some lower lifts. And you're gonna feel like, you might feel like, oh wow, that was really hard for my hip on my left side. And this side, maybe it's really hard for your shoulder to stabilize, right? Because we all have these oppositions and things going on through our body that we can continue to improve. So top leg out, let's try that. Connect through here first. You wanna be connected before you ever lift. Connecting up to the center and then lift. Do a little lower and lift. Okay, and watch too, you guys don't go up so high that the shoulder goes into the ear, because that is not effective for your body. You can add the top arm if you want. Good, and then we can do it with a straight arm. Experiment and see what works best for you. Okay, so really wrapping and pressing. And when I'm doing this, I want to remind you all, I'm not I'm not like jamming my shoulder down. What we're doing is we're doing a little bit more of a gentle spiral. So you feel this like nice opening across the front of the shoulder and the bicep, and then you feel this swivel around to the back, like mid-back around to the ribs, okay? And you connect, activate that bottom glute, and come up. And just see how that feels for you. Good. Of course, if anything ever bothers your knee, just place a little pad or a towel underneath it. Again, and then we can try the full here. Lower and lift. And again, this side might feel like super easy for you compared to your other side. So here's a little trick that I do. When I have clients, I do it myself because we're always sometimes battling a little imbalances, right? The way we stand, the way we move, like came back from flying the other day and I could tell like, ooh, just that flying, the dehydration of the tissue, it can cause some little wonkiness to happen in the body. But the good news is we can work out of all of that. So if you feel that your left side is a little bit weaker, start on your left side. Do a set of like 10 reps and then go to the right side and do 10 reps, and then you can go back to the left side and do 10 more reps. So it's a great little trick that I love doing with myself and my clients and teaching. These are great ways to work on the imbalances in our body. And anything that's going on, we can always work to improve it. If you're looking for a workout from me, and you haven't yet signed up for my Pilates full workout, you can check that out at my website. It's ericazeal.com/Pilates. And if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to reach out.